Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. It is November 15, 2018, and happy Thursday, everyone. Let's begin. First up, we want to begin with your weather forecast with meteorologist Mike Haddad. Winter feel continues, and we have snow making its way into New Hampshire. Let's take a look at the weather forecast.
Thank you very much for joining us, Stormwatch 9 Weather on the Web. Here we are going through the end of another week, but it feels and it looks a lot more like winter. Of course, looks the part in the North Country, feels the part everywhere, and you know what? It's going to look the part everywhere starting tomorrow night as the next storm begins to build in quickly from south to north during Thursday evening. So tonight into tomorrow, it's all about the bitterly cold air near record lows, the likelihood in many spots by early on Thursday morning. A sunny sky tomorrow morning, followed by rapidly increasing clouds during the afternoon, and the snow shield getting closer by the time we get to about 5 or 6 in the evening. So shortly after 6 or 6:30, snow overspreads southern parts of the state, spreads northward as the evening wears on, and this deep shade of blue indicates some intense snowfall rates of possibly an inch per hour for a few hours. Then, later during the overnight and early Friday morning, a likely changeover to a mix of sleet and possibly some freezing rain. Rain may hold off to be right near the immediate coast, and that's where only a couple of inches of snow will be likely, but elsewhere, higher amounts, almost a lock, Friday early morning and before it begins to wind down by early Friday afternoon. Now, the projected snow tallies, on average, a 4 to 8 inch snowfall in many parts of the state, anywhere from Manchester down close to Nashua, up through Concord, points north and west, even back to about Rochester. Once you get closer to the coast, a general 2 to 4 could see just an inch or two right at the beaches as we start to see an easterly wind playing games with this storm early in the event. But nonetheless, a good, moderate, if not heavy snowfall for the first time this season in parts of southern New Hampshire, and more snow to add to the tally up north during tomorrow night into Friday morning. Overnight lows tonight, near or below zero in parts of northern New Hampshire, single digits for many, Lakes region in the upper valley, and 9 to 15 elsewhere. All temperatures likely to hit or at least tie record lows for the day. Highs tomorrow, upper 20s to the lower half of the 30s. That's plenty cold enough to kick off snow at the onset of this storm Thursday evening. Again, gets tricky overnight into early Friday morning with snow and a mixed bag depending on exactly where you are. It all wraps up by early afternoon Friday. Clouds break before the day is done in spots. Saturday, partly sunny, a few flurries in the mountains. A little bit milder. Sunday, it'll be bright, cool, only in the 30s. And then more snow showers are a likelihood as we go into Monday before it turns dry and colder on Tuesday.
Okay, and there you go on your weather forecast brought to you by meteorologist Mike Haddad. And now let's take a look at your traffic right now and see how your roadways are shaping up for your morning commute ahead. And here's a look at the traffic for you this morning, everyone. We're seeing a lot of green roadways and a few little tiny yellow areas over here and over here, and a few little tiny red spots as well. Otherwise, the traffic is moving pretty well for this Thursday morning for your morning commute. And hopefully it stays that way, and hopefully no major incidents or accidents to report. And if we see any major incidents or accidents, we will bring it right to you and let you know. Car crashes through barrels, hits street sweeper on I-93 in Manchester. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
a Volvo wagon wedged between two construction vehicles. The aftermath of a serious crash that tied up traffic on I-93 North just past exit 5.
There was a Volvo station wagon traveling northbound on 93, entered into the construction zone.
The driver, identified as 35-year-old Ward Burke of Bedford, is now charged with reckless conduct and operating after revocation. State police say he traveled about a half a mile before colliding with two street sweepers with workers inside. They weren't hurt, but another was.
There was a construction worker standing outside of the street sweeper, did make contact with the Volvo station wagon. He was transported, as well as the operator of the Volvo station wagon.
Both suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Another piece of construction equipment helped to lift the vehicle off of the sweepers. This isn't the first time a serious crash has happened in a construction zone in that area. Just weeks ago, investigators say the driver of a tractor-trailer fell asleep at the wheel, entered the work area on 93 North in Londonderry, and crashed into a dump truck, narrowly missing workers. As for today's crash, it is still unclear what led Burke to cross into the restricted area.
The cause of the crash is under investigation.
Anyone who may have witnessed this crash or the moments leading up to it is asked to contact state police. Reporting along I-93 in Manchester, Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Barrington officials warn a possible police impersonator. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
Say the incident happened on Sawyer Lane just after noon when a middle-aged man wearing some type of Barrington police insignia and carrying a taser knocked on the door and spoke with the person inside.
The resident opened the door and saw what he thought was a Barrington police officer wearing a Barrington police shirt, and the suspect had said he was there for a noise complaint.
The resident said there was no noise, and the suspect left, got into a police-looking Dodge Charger with tinted windows and a spotlight. But they say that the alert resident knew the local police only drove Fords and called authorities. Now they're trying to spread the word about what happened. Tara Tuttle found out today.
It's kind of scary. I have 3 kids, so, we have all the doors locked and just kind of keeping an eye out.
That's pretty scary, actually, considering in a town like this, we tend to, have open doors to everybody, so something like that coming to our house would be pretty disturbing.
It's troubling because we know there's someone out there wearing a Barrington police shirt and identifying themselves as a police officer driving that car, and we're not sure what his actual motive was walking up to someone's house.
Now, Barrington police say that all of their cruisers are like this one, fully marked police cruisers. And they also say if you have any question about someone who is claiming to be a police officer, you can always call your local police department. Reporting live in Barrington, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Tariffs partially to blame for cost spike for Dover culvert project. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
Barn sits at the bottom of Garrison Hill. Underneath it, a drainage culvert system that funnels in from surrounding neighborhoods. This is what its back parking lot looked like today. And this is what it often looks like after an intensely heavy rain. What used to happen once a year, now happening almost monthly, especially in spring. Low-lying downtown neighbors, 10 blocks in one direction, 15 or 20 in another, with routinely flooded streets and basements.
The drainage system is just old, fallen down, disrepair.
For several years, the city has called replacing the underground culvert a top priority.
In doing so, that culvert has to be extremely large. It's about 84 inches. It's made out of steel. It actually has to be pushed under the railroad tracks.
The capital improvement project assessed last year at $3.3 million. It went out to bid this year, and the lowest was $4.9 million, an increase of nearly 50%, at least a portion of it because of tariffs.
The vendors did relate to us that the steel cost, because of the size of the culvert and the fact that it has to be manufactured, were impacted by the tariffs and forcing higher costs for steel.
We wanted them yesterday, unfortunately, and now with the costs going up, it looks like it's maybe getting pushed back again.
The culvert project would have started this fall. It's now pushed to the spring, and other smaller projects will be delayed because their budgets are going to be redirected to cover the shortfall. We're live in Portsmouth. Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. No quick win for China on trade dispute cuddle in Navarro, dispute experts say. Peter Navarro, U.S. President Donald Trump's trade advisor and a hardliner on China, has been sidelined by the White House, but prospects of a trade deal between the world's two largest economies remain alike, experts told CNBC. White House defends revoke CNN reporters pass. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
This feels like a test.
It's not. Get 6 months free Apple Music on the network you deserve. Now buy one of our best phones and get one on us.
Well, CNN and its White House correspondent Jim Acosta filed a lawsuit this morning to have his access to the White House reinstated. They claim Acosta and CNN's Fifth Amendment rights are being violated by the ban implemented against him. The White House calls the lawsuit, quote, just more grandstanding from CNN, and the administration is now vowing to vigorously defend the lawsuit filed against President Trump and several of his aides.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all had enjoyed, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.